right, today we're firing up the engines, literally, to look at Pratt & Whitney's absolutely stellar third quarter performance for 2025. We're going to break down some seriously impressive numbers and get into the two key forces that are driving this massive, massive growth.
Okay, let's just kick things off with the headline number. Get this, in just the third quarter, Pratt & Whitney raked in $8.42 billion in sales. Now that is a huge figure for a single division, but you know what? The real story starts when we see how that stacks up against last year.
And here it is, a 16% jump in sales year over year. You have to understand, in an industry this massive, double-digit growth like that is a really powerful signal. But sales, well, that's only one part of the equation.
Now this is the number that really made my jaw drop. Operating profit, it didn't just go up, it soared by 35%. This tells you the company isn't just selling more stuff, it's operating way more profitably. The whole business is just firing on all cylinders.
So, yeah, you could say it was a record-breaking quarter. We've seen those headline numbers, but the real question is, how and why? So let's dig in and find out what's really fueling this incredible performance.
Look, success like this doesn't just happen because of one thing. It's being powered by two major forces that are working together perfectly. A huge boom in commercial air travel, and just rock-solid sustained demand from the defense sector. Let's break down that first one.
First up, let's talk about the commercial aftermarket. This is a super important, high-margin part of the business, and it is seeing a massive post-pandemic boom.
So what exactly is the aftermarket? Think about it like this. Selling a brand new jet engine, that's just the very beginning of the relationship. The real, long-term business is in servicing that engine with parts, repairs, and big upgrades for its entire life, which could be 20, maybe even 30 years. It's $1 billion business all on its own. And the scale of this growth is just staggering. Pratt & Whitney's aftermarket business surged by 23%. Why? Well, it's a direct result of all of us getting back to traveling after the pandemic. More flights mean more wear and tear on engines, and that means more maintenance. Simple as that. Let me put it even more simply for you. The more hours those planes are in the air, the more the engines get worn down. That drives up demand for spare parts and repairs. At the same time, you've got airlines pulling planes out of storage, getting them back into service, and they're investing in upgrades. All of that, every single bit, flows right to Pratt & Whitney's bottom line.
Okay, so that's one engine of growth. Now let's talk about the second one. Because while the commercial side was booming, Pratt & Whitney was also locking down its absolute crucial role in the defense world. And right at the heart of all that military growth is this, the F-135 engine. This is the super advanced propulsion system for the entire F-35 fighter jet fleet, which is, without a doubt, one of the most important defense programs on the planet.
The scale here is just immense. In this quarter alone, the company locked down about $3 billion in new defense awards. A huge chunk of that was from a major contract for the next batch of F-135 engines. This kind of deal provides incredible stability and a really predictable stream of revenue for years and years to come.
The CEO of the parent company, RTX, a guy named Christopher Callio, he put it perfectly. He talked about an intense focus on execution and sustained customer demand. You know, this really drives home the point that their success isn't just luck. It's all about reliably delivering on the world's most critical defense contracts time and time again.
So now let's zoom out a little bit. Pratt & Whitney is a core piece of this absolute giant in aerospace and defense called RTX. So how does this incredible performance actually fit into that bigger picture?
Take a look at this. You can see right here that Pratt & Whitney's 16% growth is actually outpacing the really impressive 12% growth of the entire RTX Corporation. The takeaway is crystal clear. Pratt & Whitney isn't just along for the ride, it's a key engine that's driving the whole conglomerate forward. And if you want a sign of long-term health, just look at RTX's total order backlog. It's a staggering $251 billion. Let that sink in. $250 billion. A massive figure like that signals that demand is going to be there for years to come, and it provides a super powerful foundation for future growth.
Okay, so with that incredible foundation, we're at our final section. The outlook is, overwhelmingly positive, but it's always important to keep a balanced view of the path that lies ahead.
So the tailwinds pushing them forward are powerful. You've got that massive order backlog we just talked about and continued investment in their global MRO network. That's their maintenance, repair, and overhaul facilities. That all creates really strong momentum. But there are headwinds too. Global supply chain pressures are still very much a reality, and the company's also talked about the impact of managing costs from tariffs.
And all of this leaves us with a much bigger question to think about. The performance of a company like Pratt Whitney, it's a fantastic barometer for what's happening globally. It reflects everything from our desire to travel all the way to how much nations are spending on defense. So when its engines are firing on all cylinders like this, it really makes you wonder, what does that tell us about the trajectory of the entire global economy? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.